Let's talk more about integer types here. If we look at the basic types file again, and that's again in the scripting basics, we can come down here towards the second section of PHP code here. This is the first section and here's the second. We have a comment there and the other comment at the end. All that was commented out. We'll just save it. So it's all active now. Right click, refresh, and then we can see the other values. We've already taken a look at the upper values there. So now what we're dealing with is the fact that integers can represent our simple things here, where we have assignment of an integer to 1,000. We increment int by 1 here. $int is equal to $int plus 1 right here. And then we do it a different way with the plus equals. We add 1,000 to that value. And then here, minus equal, we subtract 500. Now you can also do the longhand notation here for int minus 1. Int is equal to int minus 1. And that's up to you. But this is the easier way, the last two. And this should give us a value of 1501. And that's what you see here. 1501. So that's how you can do some basic math to get things going for an integer. You can substitute this for whatever variables you want. And you've already seen how we have complex assignments and complex formulas. Anything with algebra, you can use the parentheses and things like that. We've taken a look at that in the language syntax, the basic language syntax. But that's basic for working with languages, and we'll see other things later. This is just really getting started with integers. Now, you might not have known that you can actually specify a octal or a hexadecimal value. And if you precede a integer value here with a 0, it's going to automatically use this value here as octal. Right here. And this is the decimal way with a regular numeric value here. So a leading 0 is going to indicate that this is going to be octal. And hexadecimal, and this is the base of 8, and the base 16, which is hexadecimal, you would precede those values there with a 0 and then an X. You might be familiar with this in other languages, and you do similar things in HTML, for example, with the number sign. And then you can put your hexadecimal values here, which is going to range from 0 to 9, and then the letters A, B, C, D, E, and F. And that's going to represent 16. And then you can see that the values here are going to be output if we do an echo here at the bottom. And we just have an echo, just the variable names there, no big deal. And we'll look at that. So you can see these are the hex values. And if we go up further, we see the octal values. And then the decimal value, base of 10, base of 8, or base of 16. So this last one is 15. So that should be an F here. That should be an F right over here. And there it is. You can see how it's represented. Everything else is 0, and that's an F. So it goes from right to left. And you can see that's going up to 255. Same thing with the octal. As you can see, that's going to have a value of 1. So if you want to do anything with your octal values there, binary number is what we would call that. That's the base of 8, and then we have the 16. So very easy to represent binary numbers in PHP. So that's that for integers. And just note that you can put very, very large numbers here. PHP 4 might have a lower standard for how many decimal places you can have, but you can go pretty high here in PHP 5. Not a problem. Lots of zeros. So you can see that's represented down here. And if you're getting your salary up into these numbers up here, you're really doing okay. And you don't need me to tell you that. All right. Anyway, so that's integers. And you can use them as you need to. We'll get more into working with numbers and strings and all the different types as we progress through the training.